Okay, hi everybody. Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is to you. Welcome to this game, this arcade game. This is part one of a mini arcade block. This is called Hardhead, or as the title says, it's sometimes Hap D Head. It's a bit of a weird spelling. Hold on, I want to show you how it's actually spelled because it didn't show it right now. But here we go. Hap D Head, that's the name of the game. I'm gonna guide you through this wondrous universe. Yeah, let's just get into it and I'll explain some things as we go along. So, yep. Also some lore. Anyway, here we are. This is Hardhead, or they might both be Hardhead, I don't know, and this is our girlfriend or my girlfriend or whatever, and we have to do some things. So here we go. This is an arcade platformer, very based on Super Mario Brothers. You know, you just jump on enemies and you know, walk around and stuff. Except the enemies are not quite Super Mario Brothers like. It's like you, I don't think they had walking fingernails in Super Mario Brothers. So, and also, well, rubber duckies maybe. Nah, I don't think so either. But yeah, you'll be encountering a lot of very strange enemies as we go through this game. 16 levels in total, and after each level we get or save this mini Hardhead, or this, well, they sometimes refer to it as a pet enemy. Right, now we're going to the next level, and we have lava balls and everything, so that's gonna be a little bit more dangerous. Danger meatball. So yeah, yeah, as mentioned in the chat, this is a Korean arcade game made by Sun A Co. Alright, I can just as well explain it now, I guess. In Korean, it's called Janglestorm, if I'm not mistaken, and that roughly translates as Dr. Bulgehead, and, well, it's more commonly known in this case as Hardhead. So, there you go. Also, yeah, you was seeing me writing these, or bouncing on these Dragon Balls pretty often, so there'll be a thing too. And there will be some bosses, and this apparently takes place in Australia, and we fight this monster with his tail, which in some way looks like New Zealand, I guess, I don't know. But we'll be encountering this enemy quite a few more times, so yeah, just so you know. In the meantime, we use hammers to break through these walls, and also you have a couple of other items. Most notably, we also have a bubble gun, which we will use to shoot enemies into the air, so they'll get out of our way. The Australian National Dragon, yes indeed. Right, time for some music. This is your musical lesson for today. Get your do-re-mis ready, because this will be the first of many instances. Oh yeah, also, orbs. Get ready for that too. So, I'm gonna get up here first, destroy a couple, and get down here, destroy this one. Get up here, hopefully deal a couple of hits here, hopefully... Ah, that's fine. Just gonna deal with that later. Just gonna destroy this one first, and a couple more hits over here, maybe... There we go. All the while, we make music, so... What do you know? Okay, this also makes sound, and one of the platforms just got despawned, so I cannot make this jump. So I have to take a death here in order to, you know, make sure it actually appears. It's very random. I don't know why it happens, but it just fails to load in certain instances. So I just have to wait for that. Oh well, we can make it through now. And these are falling platforms, by the way, so I have to jump instantly or I will just sink to the ground, and that's not good. Some more scissors, and we have these very musical springs, I guess, and spikes we have to deal with. Yeah, there's some interesting game design choices in here for sure. It was funny though, I did wind up playing this as well as the second Hardhead at an actual arcade last July when I was at ESA Summer in Sweden. that was pretty interesting. I just found both of the games on the arcade cabinet, and I wound up playing both of them. And of course I had played this game, but not the second one. And let me tell you, it does some interesting things too. But anyway, let's get back here first. We have this section we have to get through. Usually I wind up taking a death here, which is actually handy because it does wind up despawning all the enemies, so I can just get through here faster. Yeah, Hard Hat 2 is something else really. One of the notable differences is, well, there's some things with weapon upgrades, but also well, I'm currently walking around and I've got clothes on, but if you get hit in the second game, you wind up losing your clothes. So it's definitely not entirely safe for work, let's just put it that way. Okay, I have to watch out for this arrow because lots of things are pretty deadly here. Also, since there's no iframes, you have to be especially careful, and if you land into spikes, you're basically done for. So you have to watch out for that. Alright, this part, I usually wind up destroying all these blocks here because I find it easier to deal with these enemies. Other times it can be a bit of a struggle. And there's the thing with checkpoints, if I would have died a couple of pixels before where this was, I would have been required to restart that section. So it's in a certain way important that I do make it past that, so I don't have to do that. But to be fair, it used to be more of a struggle than it is now because at least this provides some sort of setup, I guess. Oh yeah, also this game also has lots of cars and vehicles, and we're onto this abandoned train station or section, I guess. We see an LPG wagon, a couple of other things. Oddly enough, some of these wagons have more detail than some of the other things in this game. Oh yeah, like I said, vehicles. Everything wants to drive you over and just go really fast. And everything makes the same sound, so that can be a bit confusing. It sounds like an ambulance most of the time, and some things look like ambulances, like this car, I guess, but... Oh damn, that was bad. So yeah, I usually try to hide out in these lampposts in order to stay somewhat safe. It can, to some extent, hop from one to the other, but yeah, at some point it just ends too. And you know, it is not necessary. You can also just make a high enough jump and make sure that you don't stand too far to each side of the screen, so at least you know it's coming for you. Yeah, the music in this game, a lot of it is kind of quote-unquote inspired by or stolen from classical pieces. You might recognize something of Swan Lake in there. I'm not exactly sure what else is there. I'd like to think there's some Debussy in there as well, but again, I'm not sure. Alright, as we go down here, I heard you like bosses, so guess who's back? Hey! So we just try to get rid of this as fast as possible, just by standing on one side and sort of button mash until we have to move around. Okay, we're just gonna try it again. This is one of the games where it's kind of hard to tell where exactly you'll be able to save time very easily because it's pretty much all over the place as to what can happen, and yeah, sometimes it goes pretty well and sometimes some things might take a couple of tries to really get through, but yeah, stuff like this seems to go pretty well otherwise. Okay, I'm gonna take it easy here because there's not a lot of space to jump there, and like I said, iframes are a thing, or rather, are not a thing. So we have to keep that in mind. And this is where it gets... Try to get through as fast as possible, because there are these Indians shooting arrows at me, and they tend to be ridiculously well timed, so I try not to... linger around too much there. And yeah, we gather more and more of these mini hard heads, or I still don't know what they are. They look close enough, don't they? Yeah. Alright, this level is not too bad. This gonna be... it's mostly moving platforms, really. So I'm trying to grab this key, and there's a thing with a jump mechanic in that it's responding very weirdly. It's got its own rhythm, I guess, where the the fall speed whilst jumping, or the fall movement or direction, whatever, is very much set after a certain while. So you have to be careful of how you jump, because otherwise you might wind up missing your target or whatever. Alright, so here's more Dragon Balls. Again, I have to make sure I balance on them, but to be honest, I don't usually find this the most difficult part. Only exception is when I accidentally hit that spike ball there, and yeah, I'll just drop down. That's one thing that can happen, but apart from that, it's totally fine. Alright. We're almost halfway already, holy crap. So, like I said, houses, MS Paint houses more like, they don't seem very detailed, and also what always strikes me is how tiny these doors are. Like, I'm not sure who they are designed for, but I mean, maybe for the mini hard heads, but it's kind of hard to get in there without having to crawl necessarily. It's a traffic jam once again, as you can tell. But this is the end of that. So now we have some more duckies, and yeah, I'm sad to say we're gonna kill these duckies, rip duckies. They look really cute, but it can be incredibly mean. There's gonna be some, there's gonna be one level in particular later on where they can be extremely mean. That was quite a save, by the way. Let's do this. Moving fingernails also confirmed pretty dangerous at times. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Sometimes I lose a life here because of whatever happens. Yeah, rip to X. Okay, as we get to stage 9, oh, this is probably the favorite part, well, for me at least, but also those who have seen it. I'm gonna introduce you to Skelechan and not say too much, because Skelechan has a couple of words for us. Okay, thank you, Skelechan. Oh, hey, so I heard you like Skelechan. Okay, let's do it again. This time with spikes, yay! There we go. I'm glad you enjoy it. It's always fun to show this to people who've never seen it before. So, if you've never seen it before, I'm hoping you feel enlightened to some extent, I guess. Alright, there's a brief section after this where I mostly have to make sure to open up all these doors. And also I have to make sure not to jump too high or I'll go out of bounds. And if I go out of bounds in this game, I'll die. So, yeah, that's a thing. That sounds so world-weary, yeah. The thing is with those bosses, the Skelechan bosses, is I try to do double hits, but it has to, that requires me to do very specifically time jump or specific heights at which I have to jump. So if you can do that, that's a pretty neat speed thread. Also shoutouts to the Hammer Brothers, speaking of Super Mario Brothers. Except they don't really throw hammers, they throw rocks, but it's close enough. So this game is from 1988, which is a couple of years after the first Super Mario Bros. Came out, just for reference. Okay, it's orb time. Let's destroy a couple more of these. This can be a bit of a tricky thing, especially when there are more than a couple of screens, so I try to clear the area as much as possible. But in this case it might work out pretty well. One more and done. Okay. Okay, and now we have time for this. If I can break it open at least. Oh, the tailwind ahead. That's also a thing that can happen. If you just have to hit the head and the tail will just, break off anyway. If it starts to move ahead of the rest, really. But yeah, I died there, so I now have to replay this part too. So it's time for more orbs. By the way, I do remove that power block because it's easier for me to move around. Otherwise, I'll just bump the ceiling, and it's not always convenient. Alright, let's do this. Okay. And thankfully, at least we have that power, so we can at least refill our health to some extent. But we usually start off with 2 out of 3 health for some reason, and I'm not sure why, but that's just the way it is. Okay. Oh yeah, now I have to watch out for this. I usually try to keep it in the same corner, so I actually have a pretty easy time dealing with it, but yeah, this is a bit different, of course. Yeah, as Kowal pointed out, the jump mechanic is odd. You'll have to sort of work around that. Anyway, after those shenanigans, it's time for more lampposts, so you can definitely tell there's gonna be more vehicles later on. But also these crushers. In certain ways I can move underneath them pretty quickly, but there also are a couple that I need to watch out for. Okay, it's time for more trucks, and I think that one bus just goes to Switzerland, I guess. Or it's an ambulance, I'm not sure. It's never been entirely cleared up, but there's so many odd mysteries in this game, that's for sure. Okay, there's another power block, but I'm gonna leave it. I only really pick it up if I'm really low in health, but in this case it's fine. Have we shown what happens with the soccer ball? No, I haven't. It's not actually required to beat the game, but you can sort of do it. And actually, later on in the game, especially in the second half, it's becoming really hard to actually kick the ball in the goal because of the obstacles that you have to work with. So I tried routing an all goals category for this, and I just gave up because it's just no. Let's just put it that way. But if you get the ball in the goal, you get this really funny sound though. Okay, that's probably fine. The thing is with those boulders, they kind of move out of sync, but if you get back to it, they're perfectly in sync, which makes them easier to deal with. So it almost rewards just taking a death there. Okay, let's see if I can get past this too. Okay. Ooh, that wasn't too great. I should have stayed a little bit lower. But yeah, there was some weird programming thing, I guess, that causes them to initially be desynced, but oh, that was bad. Let's see, jump over this one and then wait over here. Okay, that should be fine. Yeah, you have to see where you might want to walk. It's definitely an arcade game at this point. Okay, so now we have to grab this key. We have to use our bubblegum for that, obviously. With a little bit of luck, I can sort of one-cycle this. Okay, that was twice. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna show you what happens if I kick the ball in the goal, because this is a pretty easy setup, hopefully. Although, might take a few tries. Oh. Okay, never mind. That was the wrong goal. But yeah, that's also why I haven't fully gone through with all goals, I guess. But the weird thing is, you have this varying kick power depending on how long you hold down the button. So there's a bit of leeway in how you can do that. In the meantime, more Dragon Ball action, so this is a bit... Well, it's a little bit tricky, yeah, I guess. Okay, who likes orbs? Because I heard you like them, and here's some more of them. Let's see if I can do this. Again, I tried to get rid of a couple of them as quickly as possible, so I have a bit more room to walk around. Who puts a net on the roof of their exit? I know, right? It's a design decision for sure. Okay, that's better. So that's what I usually try to get, but yeah, we still have to run a little bit and hopefully not get screwed over too much. Okay, it's another one. It's another one. This is going pretty well. Oh, I thought it was gonna go for me, but okay, I'll just head on here. Ooh, that's two at once. That's good. And there we go. We're free. Free! Well, okay, we still have this truck to jump over. A flying truck, by the way. I'm not sure how it did that, but I guess it's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, we got this one more section. Have to watch out for this arrow, I guess. But otherwise, you know, we try to bounce on this. And again, if I hit the spikes, then it's basically ripped for me, so I have to watch out for that. Alright. So let's see, what level are you at right now? Ooh, level 14. This is gonna be somewhat, I guess, RNG heavy level. You'll see soon enough. Depending on how things go, I might either get through it first try or it might take a while. So, less RNG, I guess. So this part, we have to grab the key from up above there. Problem is, the enemies that emerge are entirely random, so you have to get through somehow, and doing that fast is not the easiest thing, and especially when this many enemies appear, it's not always easy. But we'll try again. We'll try again, you never know. Just gonna get myself set up here. Oh yeah, also we have bombs. Those are usually not helpful at all. They take a while to really become active, and they only lie on the ground really, so you can't really fire them at someone. So you have to use other means for that. See, I can show you the bomb. There we go. Okay. I might have shot here. Let's see. Oh, ooh, okay, there we go. Get out of here. Don't get hit by that. Okay, cool. Third try, that's not as bad as some other times. This can also be a bit tricky though because of these conveyor belts, and we have to still deal with these ducks. And sometimes I try to go pretty fast here, which doesn't always work out in my favor. But at least it lets you restart from there, so it's not the worst either. So let's see if I can play it a little bit more safe. There we go. See, now I don't have to worry about those, just the fingernails. And of course arrows. Always arrows. Okay, I guess we saved some of the duckies, so yay! Okay, who wants to see the sun? Oh, by the way, get ready for bounce. Get a kiss for bounce. How about that? I could just show that off like that. Okay, time for the sun. Let's beat the sun. And that was the sun. Yes, the bounce, the bounce. Lovely, precious bounce. You could just feel the passion. I know, right? It's a there's a very deep love story to this. I mean, as weird as the lore is, I guess, and somewhat incomplete or not exactly clear, there's at least that. Oh, nice doing that in front of a closed door. Ooh, damn, that was too bad. Isn't it supposed to be a baby? Possibly, question mark? It's always nice when I'm able to make a set of stairs this way. Okay, now we're through. Okay, and then we get here, grab a key. Make sure to keep moving. Again, jump physics working its magic. So, just have to jump here a couple of times. You can actually jump in these spike balls, so that's nice. They don't kill you. Okay. With that, it's time for the final level. And you're gonna love this because there are a lot of things happening in terms of boss fights and some familiar faces as well. Not playing chopstick on the keyboard platforms. Alright. So, for those who missed Skelly-chan, here's Skelly-chan. In a minute. There we go. And that was Skelly-chan. Okay, I'm gonna wait a little bit for these projectiles to move off screen because now we find this massive face who goes by the name of Hardhead, believe it or not. So this is where the lore gets very strange because, well, our main character's name is Hardhead, but this boss's name is also called Hardhead, so will the real Hardhead please stand up, I guess. Alright, so now on to the final phase. Let's hope this goes well. So now he brought some spikes and we have to jump over a couple of those. Makes it a bit easier to deal with as well. Otherwise, you have to make sure not to get it to your side of the screen too much, or else it might be really difficult to deal with. But that was it, and that's the end of the game. So time stops right now. Almost a 26 flat, how about that? And yeah, look at that, we saved all of them, the family is complete, I guess. Now we have bonus instead of bounce, and we close with this text. Congratulations, you fight it very well. Though Hardhead is defeated in this game, while coming here, I am acquainted with you. I will not forget you forever. And it drove off in the bus. So yeah, we have indeed fighted very well, I guess. That's a pretty decent time. Like, I've had some deaths along the way, but I usually have that, and at least I didn't die constantly to bosses, so I'm glad about that. And now to say bye-bye, this time with double exclamation mark, by the way. In the opening sequence, there's one exclamation mark, and this is two, so that's how you know it's truly the end. Alright. And so that concludes our trip in this world, this universe of Hardhead. I could definitely recommend giving this a try, just see how it plays, because it controls very specially. And I guess also be sure to check out Hardhead 2, just to see what that does. It's special in its own way. I'm probably not going to stream that ever, but at least I managed to beat it, so I can tell you, like, yeah, just see whatever, give it a try. Anyway, thanks so much to Game-a-Thon for letting this game in. I hope you enjoyed. I'll be back later this day with a couple of other things. For now, I guess I'll throw it over to the host again. So enjoy some more bad games, and I'll see you later.